Hello, and welcome to this edition of Beyond the Beat. I'm your host, Frank Morello. Joining us in studio today are two board members of the 200 Foundation. Phil, the president.
Thank you.
And Adam, the chairman.
How's it going, Frank?
Pretty good. Thanks for joining us in studio today, fellas.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, no problem. So service and volunteerism, it's something that comes from the heart, and it's a selfless act. And it's something at the core of the 200 Foundation's mission.
It is.
You guys have been around for quite a long time. Can you talk about when you guys were founded and why?
Adam, why don't you start?
Go ahead, Adam.
So it was back in, was it 1960? It was 55 years ago.
Right,
so
right.
I'm not going to do any
64.
math right
Yeah.
now because I'll get it wrong, but it was started in Joe Perini's backyard.
Okay.
And at the time, the cost of admission was $200.
Okay.
And the thought process was to get a bunch of business leaders together and to help out the community.
Right.
And at that dinner, they, I think they gave away 4 brand new Ford Mustangs. I mean, it really was quite the event.
Over the top.
Yeah, you guys always really set the bar pretty high. That's impressive.
But, you know, the nice part about it was everybody was there just to give back.
Right. Now, when you say everybody was there, is Metro West surrounding organizations, who's involved with the 200 Foundation?
These days,
These days, it's everybody you mentioned.
Right.
Back then, I want to say it was less than 20 business leaders in the backyard of Joe Perini's house. My grandfather and
Sure.
father were both at the event.
Right, right.
And fast forward now, 55 plus years, I'm the president, which is
Yeah.
it's full circle.
Right, and go ahead.
Adam's dad, owned a car dealership in Framingham. He picked it up when some of the other guys got older, and he's been running with it. He's at Herb Chambers, and he's been running with it ever since. And
Right.
he's our chairman emeritus.
Right.
And it's a great group of business leaders, and we help those most in need. Rehabilitation, food, clothing, shelter. And we give a lot of money away. We work hard. Sure. It's a completely volunteer board.
Correct.
And it's some great events, and it's a great group of community together doing something good for Framingham and the surrounding communities.
Right, and now the people you're helping, they're not looking for a handout, they're just looking for a helping hand.
That's right.
And the people that you guys help, if I may humbly ask, who gets the donations and who benefits from this?
so many different charities. I mean, part of what we do is it's hard to give away money. I know it sounds kind of cliche by saying that, but we want to make sure that the people who are supporting us, that we're being good fiduciaries of their money. We're making sure that the charities that receive these funds, they've been vetted. The biggest bang for their buck is going right directly to helping people out.
Right.
Some of the charities locally,
Sure.
there's many, too many to remember.
Well, I want to talk a little bit about the Curtis
I was
family.
going to say, that's one of our newer ones.
Right, right.
Back a few years ago, we did a turkey drive.
Sure.
And then we did something with Daniel's Table.
Yeah.
I reached out, Diane Lynch and I went to school together as kids.
Right.
I bumped into her dad.
Sure.
And she does great work. She really is just somebody that keeps giving back to the community. So I reached out to her. I said, we want to help. And she was blown away by it. And, it's one of the first charities we offered a donation, and they said it was too much. And we bought in for the long term. Mm-hmm. So instead of giving $10,000 grant, we're doing a couple thousand for 5 years.
Spread it out.
So at least it takes the pressure off. Mark Curtis and them, they work real hard, he and his wife, to get this thing done with all the volunteers, the schools, everybody, police, they all give back. We had some board members working that day.
Right. Sure.
We also had some doing deliveries to
Sure.
people that couldn't get out of their homes. Mm-hmm. We want our money to help and be for services.
Correct.
We're not looking for payroll.
Right.
We're not looking to put on somebody so you can have another person doing, what you do.
Sure.
We wanted direct services, and Hoops and Homework was so great about that. We paid for a food program.
Right.
So that the money is there for those kids and the food is there. So when they come in for a snack, some of those people, that might be the only meal they have the time they go back to school the next morning.
Right.
St. Bridget's School, we've done some scholarships for kids that needed a little bit of help.
It's amazing to see you guys in the community and to know that you're there supporting those in home. And we've seen it, Access Framingham, seen you guys firsthand, working hard, selflessly. And I can remember even asking some guys, hey, can I do an interview with you? And all I saw was the top of your head because you're chopping, you're working, you're sweating.
And it's a great feeling to give back. I was taught at a young age, you need to give back. And it's community service. I don't go around chatting about it and talking about it, but it's in the blood. And when we had the restaurant, we had a restaurant for 65 years in Framingham. We always tried to help people. Give it for events, do things. And that's what it's all about. And you need to help people because someday you never know when you might need a helping hand. And we all know somebody that needs a helping hand.
Right. Could be our neighbor, you know?
Could be our
so
neighbor.
this big event that's going to be coming up in June on the 26th, it's going to be your 55th annual dinner, is that correct?
Correct, yes.
Correct.
So it's going to be held on Wednesday, June 26th.
Yep.
And do you want to let us know where it's going to be?
Sure, over at the Wayside Inn, Sudbury. We've been there for,
location.
yeah, it's fantastic. We've been there for quite a long time. The innkeeper, Steve, has just been so generous in helping us out, so we're thankful. We have a fantastic honoree this year who has roots to the Framingham area. His name's Dr. Brian Bisconi.
Correct.
Many people have been operated on by him. I know I have.
Yeah, wow.
Phil has too.
2 knees and a rotator cuff.
So sports injuries, huh,
Well,
guys?
He's the chief of sports medicine
Right.
at UMass. So very well accomplished, gives lectures, but another one that's all about giving back. And we couldn't have picked a better honoree this year.
One of the things that's going to be at the dinner on the 26th is going to be a food tasting.
Oh,
Yeah,
absolutely.
So that's another huge draw.
Yeah, I've been lucky enough. I was the vice president under Adam, but I've been in charge of the hors d'oeuvre section.
Okay.
But we'll have 20 to 25 different vendors.
Okay.
Both beverage and food.
Well, I'm already salivating. I can't wait to get my ticket.
From wings
Come on by.
to, we have pizza to Capitol Grill was there last year with the shrimp the size of your hand, just out of the park. And
some cocktails to
all the cocktails
to wash
you want,
it down.
and water and soda. But after you go through this tent and you mingle with the people for that hour and a half, it's just great. And we have a few of the people that we've helped that have their banners up and they talk about how our grants have helped them in their organization.
So networking will be happening, storytelling will be happening. There'll be some jokes.
Oh, there's always
Lenny
jokes.
Clark will
Lenny
be
Clark's
around.
Clark
coming.
is great.
He's fantastic.
He's a staple with us. He really loves the 200 Foundation.
Steve
that's
Donovan,
another
too, is our
great draw.
MC. Fantastic.
So you're going to get your money's worth at this
All day long.
dinner, and your money is going to be worth more than that when it helps out the community.
It really does help out the community. And we've kept it that. When you think back, the first dinner was $200, and the money that came, Joe Perini gave his backyard, and back then it was more of like a venison or a feed.
Right.
He was a hunter, and they'd serve the stuff that he caught, and different things like that. And then, fast forward, Carling's Brewery, Maycumber, Labor's Training Camp. But we found a home at the Wayside Inn, and Steve Pickford, they truly are a great corporate sponsor because they'll have a table there. We have Al Basha. Just you name most of the local restaurants that we have. Ken Steakhouse should be there again this year. And everybody does their staple. Jack's Abbey, pretzels in their beer. Atlas. It's a great event.
Well, I can feel the love, and I can really hear the emotion come from you guys. This is something you guys really believe in. And if somebody else wants to help out, we're still looking for donations. We're still selling tickets. Can you tell us what your website is, how they can contact you?
It's the200-200.org. All the information's listed up there. If you'd like to volunteer with us, please send us a note. We'll get you involved. That's something I don't think we did mention too, is that everyone on our board isn't compensated. Everyone does this from the bottom of their heart, just to raise money, give it back, help people out. And a lot of people on our board have experienced, good times and bad times, and it's all about helping someone out. That's what life's all about. Really is.
Definitely. I can really feel the passion, and I can really see that this is something you guys care about.
We love it. And he and I, I'm older than him, but, you think about my father who's going to be 84 years old. Then there's his father, and then guys like me, then guys like Adam. We've reached out, and, we've got a lot of new young energy. Pammy Perini's on our board. Her family, it was in their first backyard. Diane Lynch now is involved. Janet Lee and Bruno. Ashley Hasse Otis from One Mission. We've been very lucky. We've reached out to people, and they see what we do. And it's when they see what goes on, it's easy for people to say yes and to help.
Well, I can definitely tell that, and I want to encourage everybody home watching this to get up, go out, and be inspired. Get your tickets at the200.org and come to this wonderful dinner to experience the great food, the funny jokes, and the great presentation. And you're going to be helping out a lot of people in the Metro West area. Thanks for watching Beyond the Beat. We'll see you next time.